I'm back with Phil Hughes, ventriloquist and comedian at the Showboat Branson Bell 2015. And so you've been in Branson a little while. You get a lot more free time than I do.
Yeah.
And so my wife gives me a hard time about even doing this. She's like, you have such little free time.
Chris, what happened when I used to just say, I'm just popping over to the Showboat to do a show real fast?
Now basically I have 3 full-time jobs.
Yeah, you do.
But you have been to some shows in town. We were talking about you've been to see Rick. Have you seen Rick Thomas's show?
Yeah, we saw Rick Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did see Rick.
I love that show.
We saw he's fantastic.
He's amazing, and I love his humor and stuff.
Yeah, he comes across as very, number one, he's very likable.
Yeah.
He is one of those rare illusionists who actually, some of them just seem, there's so much drama and done well, but he breaks through that and becomes extremely likable and truly connects to the audience.
Yeah.
He does
Do you like
a wonderful
illusionists?
job. I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing. I get angry when people call me an illusionist.
Well, yeah, you're a magician. It's different.
When they write a review. It's very different, I think.
I like illusions if they're done really well.
Mm-hmm. But like you're saying, so many people, and one that used to be here in town, they just wheel on a prop. And
right,
do
and
their
there's
thing,
nothing to it. Yeah.
And are very egotistical about their talent, but it's not them. It's the people. I always say it's the person in the box.
It's the person in the box.
Yeah.
I was the person in the box in the show before.
Yeah.
I did La Femme Magique, which was a version of Showgirls of Magic, a David Sachs production.
Yeah.
We did it in Philadelphia for him, and I had 2 10-minute bits in the show. The second 10-minute spot, they introduced me by producing me from a box. So I was in a sub-trunk, which was quite funny. And sorry. Sorry, everybody, all the illusionists out there. But yeah, they produced me from a box, which was quite interesting. I'm not quite built to be
in a box.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to work one into my show here, and it's just not my style. Like,
no.
I have to do it. I have one that I'm working on. I've been working on it for 3 years. That is a comedy bit having to do with illusions. But I just see so many people. It makes me angry when people will bring up different names and what a great magician. I'm like, they're not a magician. They're a furniture mover. Like, they're just wheeling something on.
But get back to Rick. Rick breaks through that, and what a performance.
He is.
He's a performer.
Like, he's the only
that's
one
a
that
difference.
I've enjoyed.
I think that's the difference. It's like there's great musicians out there. So many of them can play wonderful music, but they can't put on a show by themselves because they're not a performer.
They're not an entertainer.
They're not an entertainer. Rick's an entertainer.
Yeah, he is.
He's classy.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out with pizzazz, and he's likable.
Yeah.
He connects to the audience. We always said for comedians, for comedy, it's a conversation with the audience. Whatever you do, I don't care what kind of performing you do, you have to connect to the audience somehow. And sometimes there's like this disconnect between the audience and the performer, and the show isn't as good as it can be because you haven't made that connection.
Right.
And he does. He makes a good connection.
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Which kind of brings me to going to shows.
Rick,
in
you
town.
owe me for all of that now. That's payment.
I'm trying to get him on here.
Okay.
I want to talk to him. A few years ago, when I was going to be the MC, this was actually like 9 years ago, I decided with my daughter. I hadn't seen shows in town other than the Presleys and a couple other ones, and I decided to go to every show I could. So we took a few weeks and went to every show. And here's what I noticed: you had to get the audience to like you.
Of course.
And it was a little different than everywhere else I had performed in the Catskills. You came out, you did your show, and then you left. And there was a bright light in your face, and you didn't know who was out there.
No.
But in Branson, they're right there, and they come out and see you after the show. They see you at Target.
Yes.
They're everywhere. And so what I learned was to do a lot of yes ma'ams, no ma'ams, be polite, just get them to like you as a person.
Sure.
And that made a huge difference.
Right.
I'm not to say they didn't like me as a person before.
No,
but you know what I mean?
but it really brings it to your mind that you have to do it. Don Rickles was his insult comic that he is.
Yeah.
They liked him.
Yeah, right.
He had a smile and a look on his face and a gleam in his eye that connected with that audience. They knew he was joking. He could slam him and then give him a smile, and it's all good.
Yeah.
They liked him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he couldn't get away with it.
Yeah, well, that happens here. Even Jim will say that. He'll say that, I start off a certain way and get the audience used to the humor, where if I have to jump to one of my routines, it looks like I'm being a jerk.
Right.
one of the routines later on. But once they get my humor and it's all in good fun,
Right.
I have an agent, whenever he sends me to do showcase shows for cruise ships or whatever years ago, he would say, do this bit that I used to do that was real popular. And I say, no way, they'll think that I'm being a jerk. Like, I'm making it look like this guy is not getting the instructions,
Right.
and he just he couldn't understand that.
Yeah,
But,
when you only have X amount of time, you haven't established your character, you can't
Exactly.
throw in and do something like that.
Right.
So.
But Rick's good at that. You said you went and saw Chipper.
Yeah, we saw Chipper Lowell in Colin Ray's show, and Chipper's
Yeah,
fantastic.
he is.
Colin, man, what a show.
Yeah.
I wish he was still here. I mean, I'm sure he'll start up again next year, but
I'm sure.
great singer, man. He can
Yeah.
really sing still.
Yeah, I saw
Amazing.
Chipper one of the first years I went to the Magic Castle. I was going to perform there, and I went the week before and saw him. He was in the main theater, and I thought, this guy is great.
Well, he's hysterical.
He is.
I love his ventriloquist bit. It's wonderful. He's a
see,
good
I don't
ventriloquist.
remember that,
yeah.
but
yeah,
I'll
we
have to see it.
Yeah, you'll have to see it. It's a great bit. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you saw that? You've been to Hamner's
Hammers,
variety show?
yeah, went on Hammers, and then
Dave.
Sure, Dave.
Pretty good.
Phenomenal show.
He
yeah.
mixes his magic.
It's nice.
and
It's a nice. I like that because it's a variety show.
Yeah, I love
I
variety
love
shows.
variety because hey, there's something in it for everybody in the audience.
Right.
I love variety, and I think we need more variety personally. As a variety act, of course,
Yeah.
I think that.
Oh, I think so too. A few years ago, I was asked if I'd want to do my own show. Somebody that wanted me to do my own show, and I said, no way, not in this town, because the audience
No.
is so diverse.
Right.
You'd have to be a big name like Colin Ray
Sure, of course.
to do it, or
Yeah.
else people are going to complain. Like, ultimately, you get a bus group. Not everybody's there to see
No.
you or to
No.
see magic. Or to
No,
see
and that's true. A
ventriloquist.
bus group is a different entity completely because it's not like you have a whole bunch of people who decide, hey, individually decide, let's go see Chris.
They don't.
Let's
they
go
don't
see
know what
Christopher
they
James. Be wonderful.
Uh-huh.
No, you got a bus says, we're going to go take a trip. Okay, great. By the way, we're seeing Christopher James.
Yeah.
Who? You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
oh, I know him. He's great. And then half of them like you, half of them don't.
Mhm.
You know, we're
So after you saw a few shows here, any big impressions about what did you really like about the
I
performances?
just like how they pack. There's so much entertainment packed into such a small area, and you're bringing people from so many different places in the States and even out. Today I met a couple from Ireland. They had come in.
It's a long
and
drive.
Yeah, they drove a long way. I mean, it's long snorkel, too. It was a long snorkel. The funny thing is they have been driving, too. They flew out one spot and they rented a car, and they've been driving a brand new Mustang convertible across the
Oh, well,
country, and
there
they're
you
having
go.
a ball.
That'd
you
be
know?
interesting.
Yeah, and they're really loving it. And they didn't even know about Branson until they went to St. Louis. Didn't like it so much. They drove a little further south and stopped for the night and had dinner. And someone said, "Have you been to Branson?"
Uh-huh.
So they came today,
Oh, wow.
and they absolutely love this.
Oh, that's cool.
So you have people from such a diverse group of people coming to this town that all have to be entertained.
Right.
And it's such a cool mix in this town.
Yeah.
It's the first night we came here. Okay, my wife and I came, and after we did the show, we thought, well, let's take a drive on the strip and see.
Went and had some
we're
Thai
like-
food.
Yeah, we had some Thai food. Yeah, and we were driving down the strip we were sitting on the strip in the car, at almost a dead stop because of the traffic. But
Right.
it was fascinating to see this. It reminds me of Vacation with Mom and Dad in the station wagon,
Yeah, yeah.
where you go and see all these roadside attractions. And this is just this one big massive roadside attraction
Yeah.
for people on a road trip.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
My first week here, I said to myself, there's no way I'm going to see everything here.
No.
There's no way. There's so much to see. But 11 years later, I still haven't seen much more.
No, and let's look. We look in. I think it's almost time for this run to end for us this year. And my wife and I are thinking we need to hurry up and go. We need to see this, and this, and we haven't seen it. You know, and we've kept going by the Ottawa Farm Museum. We want to see
yeah.
that. Oh, we want to see that. So
The little
last
Nash out
week,
front.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Nash is inside right now. They've been rotating them.
see, I had one of
love
those.
that Nash. Did
I
you?
did too, yeah.
You're the third person I know. Sammy King, he's here in town. He had one.
I loved
My
it.
friend Bob Abdu had one.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I had that, and I was trying to find a little pearl, a little teardrop for the
My
back.
wife wants it.
Yeah.
My wife wants. She had me take a picture of it. So my parents and two of my aunts were here in town, and we went to the museum.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm going to go back and do more photography. It's a great place.
Every once in a while we do the touristy thing.
Yeah,
where
and then we
just
did
take
the
kids
ducks,
and do the thing.
you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, I love the ducks.
Oh, the ducks drive by me every day. They see me and wave because
Drive by you or in front of
They
you?
ride by me. I'm on the bicycle every morning, and it's like they go by me. I wave at them, and
I think it's great.
oh, that's the greatest tour.
It is.
It's if you've never done it, you got to do it. Anyone, it's phenomenal. Yeah.
Oh, good. You've had a chance to do some things here in Branson, and when we come back, I want to talk to you about performing in Branson and some of the real challenges. What makes this unique as a performer? I have some questions.
All right.
So we'll be right back with Phil Hughes. Thank you for supporting All Things Branson. Be sure to subscribe and stay in touch on Facebook and Twitter. Check back at allthingsbranson.com for the latest news about Branson, Missouri.